So I want to ask you about this nut allergy, which is like a real, quite frightening at times thing. I want to run through just some different moments and have you tell about what went on. The first and kind of most famous story was the European vacation with the brothers.
Yeah. We went out to, so I used to always eat the pesto cavatappi from Noodles and Company, right? But I didn't know it didn't have pine nuts in it, so I could eat that. I didn't know, whatever. So we went out to a restaurant, got pesto cavatappi, and took like 2 bites, and I was getting an allergic reaction, and I hive up in the throat, and it start to wheeze, and it's hard to breathe.
And how quickly do you know something's up?
Yeah, they change, honestly. Like back then, it was like within minutes. Sometimes it depends on what it is that I eat, because sometimes it can be within minutes, or sometimes it can be an hour delayed. So like it'll really mess you up, an hour delayed. But I had the reaction. We tried to get a freaking taxi. We go to the hospital eventually, and they don't let my brothers come back with me. And then I'm trying to like explain to them what a tree nut is, and they don't understand. I'm like translating it, and people are around me, they take my shirt off, and I'm just like all red, and like doctors are like gasping at like what's going on. I'm like, all right, this can't be good. And finally they're able to treat me, but my brothers are out in the waiting room, and they are just like looking at this screen. I was under 18 at the time, so whatever, they couldn't let them see me or whatever it was, but yeah, they were freaking out.
Were you concerned like you were gonna die?
I've never been concerned that I'm gonna die, but I've been concerned that like this is going south very fast. I need to get it figured out. I've never like truly like thought I was gonna die.
What about Derek's wedding?
Derek's wedding was another one where it was like they like asked them to make sure no nuts were there or whatever, or at least on my food, and ended up somehow cross-contamination like 20 minutes into the dance part, like the party part of the night. After dinner, I started having an allergic reaction. I had to go to the emergency room, and I missed like 2 hours of his wedding, which sucked. But that was, I mean, Dani was with me for that one. That was her first time she was with me. She was like...
What's she doing?
She was bawling, like she was uncontrollable. Because like, it is hard to see. Like I swell up completely, like in the face, in the neck, everything. And like I start to wheeze, and it's like minute by minute, it's harder and harder for me to breathe. But as soon as I get the medicine, it generally helps me.
And this is your brother's wedding. The caterer had been warned.
Yeah,
they knew better.
It was a whole thing. It really was. I had one at the Steelers fashion show my rookie year.
James Harrison had to take you to the hospital, right?
That one messed me up, because it was like an hour and a half after I ate the calamari. It was like a Asian style calamari with like cashews in it. And like 10 minutes before we were supposed to go on to the fashion show, whatever, runway, someone was like, dude, what's up with your face? And I was like, well, that's not good to hear. So let me go look at my phone, and my face was blown up. And yeah, James took me to the hospital, full speed, blowing red lights and everything. It was dumb, because the ambulance was right next to us, like when we walked out of the building.
Okay, I have heard though you're supposed to have an EpiPen, and you often won't carry one.
Everybody thinks I'm dumb for that, and I know I'm dumb for that, but I hate carrying, I just hate carrying things, because I know I'm gonna lose it. And the EpiPen is not like small, it's like a pencil, you know?
Yeah, but it could save your life.
I know.
Well, and your parents were telling me how each one kind of gets worse over time?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, is it's getting worse. And like...
What's the worst one you've had?
I mean, the one I just had in Arizona 2 or 3 years ago was pretty bad. I think that was the last one that I had.
Because you couldn't, the hospital was like closed, right?
Yeah, that one I had an EpiPen for, and I stabbed myself with the EpiPen. I was so pissed. I'm like, I tell them I'm allergic to tree nuts, severe allergy, and they bring out bread, and they bring out like that oil sauce or whatever, and at the bottom it's usually like a garlic, like it looks like garlic, but it must have been a nut or something. So then like 2 bites in, I knew something was wrong, so I went to the car, and Dani told, Dani's got a fiery side, so she told them off, and then we left. And then
she seems like she could stand up for you when needed. Yeah.
And I stabbed myself with the EpiPen, and I've only used the EpiPen. That was the second time in my life I've used my EpiPen, and the first time I used it, it worked right away. That time I used it, nothing, literally nothing. So I was like, all right.
Oh, well, that's then really
terrifying. I was like, we're screwed here. We need to find a place, and we're in Sedona. I'm like, no idea where the next closest hospital emergency room is. We get to one of them, and they they're not accepting patients or whatever. Their rooms are all full.
And they know you're having a...
Yeah, and I'm like, I need medicine right now, and I just called my team doc. That's where being like, my situation is just awesome because I can call my team doc and he can talk to their doctors and just hash everything out and get the situation under control pretty quickly. And
your dad was saying there was another instance where he like swiped crumbs off the bed, or...
Yeah, there's been many times. Yeah. My dad, well, he's a paramedic
he was
too,
screwing
so he
around
knows.
and
Yeah.
like hit you
so
in the
he's
face
like,
with
he's giving me
he's
giving me the hard time in Minnesota Super Bowl. We're there. We used to always go to Super Bowls as a family and hang out and stuff. And I was just hanging out with him before like the award show or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, you allergic to this or something?" He like threw one at me. It like it was like a pecan or something. It hit me in the eye, and my whole face blew up from that. So that's never happened to me before. Obviously, I've only ingested them. I've never had them touch my skin before. So that was like, I didn't realize how severe the allergy was until that moment, and he obviously felt terrible.